So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy that I could be the last presenter because I am the most weighted people in this room, these sections. So, I connected the two last presentation today. I am a little bit, I feel me a little bit a dark horse in this room because I'm a freshwater ecologist. And previous we can see different presentation of terrestrial problems of the linear infrastructure, but we would like to focus one very interesting problem which we can detected in the last several years in Hungary. And why is so is problem the thermal water polluted infrastructures in Hungary. So when we talk about the negative effects of the linear infrastructure, fragmentation, roadkill, pollutions, we can nobody, or most time we talk nothing about what is the real effect of the different linear infrastructure elements to the natural aquatic habitats. And this is quite interesting situation when we can mix the terrestrial, semi-aquatic and aquatic habitat structure that we can separate or we cannot separate the green, blue and grey infrastructure. And why interesting for us in the Hungarian perspective this topic that a lot of non-native species spread in those sections of the streams were crossed or broken with different barriers, for example, different type of bridges of infrastructure elements. So the first answer the questions that we can separate the green, grey and blue infrastructure. In most cases in Hungary, we cannot separate it exactly. So we can see that, that in the most function of different aquatic habitat structure, we can see that it have direct connection with different rainwater, ditches, channels with different urbanized habitat structure. It's depend well from the situation that it's connected with different urbanized lakes, ponds, or have directed connection with the different linear infrastructure, for example, road flats, road dams. And other interesting situation that we, in most cases, we talk about that surface waters. All right, but what is the situation with the subsurface rainwater, ditches, channels, which are flatted with asphalted road or block concreted elements. But, for example, the right side you can see one picture when we collected with net a lot of non-native crayfishes, turtle and fish species from one of the biggest man-made thermal ponds in the middle of the capital of Budapest, the Városliget. This is direct connection, 3.5 kilometers with the main arm of the river Danube. And we can analyze with genetic samples that the sourcing population of the red swamp crayfish and the marble crayfish source direct from the Városliget ponds. So nobody can calculate it from, for example, nature conservation experts that these small ponds, 1.5 hectare, could be a very dense and very big problem, invasive hotspot direct to the river Danube. So why interesting the thermal water habitats? In Hungary have a lot of endemic species, for example, Theodoxus praworcenis small snails, which are 3 population in the world. From these 3 population, 2 lives in Hungary, only in natural thermal squares. And if everybody would like to see original white carp, need to travel to the biggest natural thermal ponds in Lake Heavis, because the original white form of carps, you can see them not in a huge boiling ponds where several tampons, individuals you can collect. And why interesting, for example, in our case, the petrate, that, for example, Emil sleeper, 4 population was transported for Russia aquarist, not so far from St. Petersburg, and these 4 individuals could be colonized, or this population could be start colonized the whole Eastern European continent. And the pumpkin seed, this North American species, you can see the 3rd most abundant non-native fish species in Hungarian waters, and in Europe it is blacklisted species. That time since 2016, and create a lot of ecological and nature conservation problem. This was until the past. In late end of 19th century, start the imported to different petrate originated fish species in different water types in Hungary. Until then, we can detect 22 fish taxons as petrate origin species. And until these results, we start an oven monitoring program focused only the thermal water polluted man-made or natural habitats. For example, quite interesting, the Lake Heavy system, you can see the drainage map, one of the biggest man-made wetland area in Hungary, but one of the most important nature conservation habitat at that time in Hungary. And you can see the maps of Hungarian drainage. The capital of the Hungary, Budapest drainage network, we have a lot of different ponds, lakes, channel system which are polluted with used and unused thermal waters, and which was the first results of all new monitoring systems. So during the 6 years, so previous, you can see it from 1981 to 2060, and after that the period is a little bit smaller, only 6 years. We can collect 23 new decapod species from the Hungarian waters, 76 new fish taxons, 11 aquatic turtles, for example, alligator turtles and snapping turtles, and we can detect the real negative effect of these taxons to the natural species, or the native species. For example, jaguar perch spread were intensive in the wall drainage system of Lake Heavies and could be absolutely destroy the newt population and the amphibians population of the colonized habitat. And for example, we can collect some quite interesting one species. For example, the Crossopternis laticulatus. This is an East Asian algae bloom species. In aquarists prefer it well to feed the algae from the aquarium flats, and we can collect it directly species in the RSD. This is a biggest natural side dam system of the river Danube. And crayfish is quite interesting that we could be first in the world. One earlier picture, for example, this small ditch in the left side, you can see this is a man-made rainwater sample channel parallel with the M Road 11. Collect the rainwater and have one small estuary and old unused thermal springs. And in these springs could be collect that time 4 non-native crayfish species together. And the SWOT analysis, you can see the upper section, you can see the left and right, the lower section could be absolutely modified the Milton pyramid, so the network system of the trophic network on these streams. And what is the situation of best results? When everybody have €1 and would you like to earn more euros, what you can do? Not could be researcher. This is the first topic. First, military industry could be the biggest profitability in the past, in the next time, and in the future too. Secondly, the drug trade. This is absolutely most profitability. But the third is the pet trade, all the different type of pet trades. So not in the Hungary, but we can see in Czech Republic too, Slovakia, Germany, that the pet trade, illegal stocking of different pet trade species create a lot of ecological conflict. In that time, parallel with the road network system and the different type of linear infrastructure systems. So thank you very much.